Hi, everyone. We're doing the last 3-minute takeaway of the year, so I want to wish you all a happy new year and better fortunes in 2021. We certainly want to continue praying to God for this country and for an end to this pandemic and for opportunities to do His will and bear fruit in the kingdom, regardless of what happens next year. So we've been talking about the story of Jesus' birth this month, and specifically the role of Mary. The last week we focused on what Mary was not intended to be, and we talked about the mythology and doctrine that had grown up around her over the past 2,000 years, to the point where the Mary of many organized religions bears almost no resemblance to the Mary we read about in Scripture. We're actually told very little about her, and her role in Jesus' story is limited to her role as a mother, after which she fades into the background of Jesus' disciples, much as John the Baptist serves as his purpose in the story and tells his disciples later, "He must increase, but I must decrease." Having said that, we also shouldn't simply ignore Mary or pass her off as an unimportant Bible figure. Like so many other people of faith that the Scripture describes, Mary has a lot to teach us. We see someone in Mary who would not have held much esteem in her culture. Poor, single woman who gets pregnant during her engagement period. But God saw her faith and her character and chose her for the role of raising Jesus, as the angel tells her, "You have found favor with God." Now, Mary's given a job, not a glamorous one, not one that will offer financial or societal rewards. In fact, to the contrary, she's going to raise a child who will grow up to be rejected by his people and ultimately hung on a cross for claiming to be the Son of God. And Mary could do nothing but watch, knowing that everything he said was true. But in enduring the loss of her son, she would also see the salvation of the Lord, the atonement for the sin of mankind, and Jesus' triumphant resurrection from the dead. Not as a proud mother, but as a redeemed child of God. Mary is the perfect example of how we are called to submit our bodies as vessels of God's grace in the world. Mary did this quite literally, but we also are called to empty ourselves to take on the form of a servant as Jesus did, to take whatever role God gives us in His service and to do it with the same joy and humility that Mary displayed. So how eager are we to take up the role of servants for God? Are we willing to do it even when it costs us our reputation, our financial prospects, our lives? Are we willing to put aside the plans we had for our lives and give them over to God so that He would be glorified in us? That's what Mary did. It's what we're called to do as well. So let's think about how we can become the type of servants as we approach the new year. And may God do His will through our lives as His people. The full lesson is on our YouTube channel if you want to watch it, or you can find it on our website at www.kimberlychurchofchrist.net, or you can listen on your favorite podcast channel. So again, thank you for listening. Have a happy new year. We'll see you in 2021.